What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining into the Progress on Purpose podcast, where we believe in intentional, purposeful living. We are a community of people who seek to be intentional about how we think and behave towards an intended goal. We believe that what we say, think, and do governs our ability to progress towards our goal and ultimately lead to success. This is the 11th episode of the show in its first season, entitled The Winning Season. In this season, we will be discussing what it takes to prepare for and walk in your winning season, or what is known to be the greatest season of your life. And all throughout this season, I have been inviting different entrepreneurs to share their success stories, share tips on how they walked into and are in the best season of their life. Today's guest is no exception, and I promise you, you are in for a treat. Barnett is a self-proclaimed creative and entrepreneur, and is the true embodiment of what it means to let your gifts make room for you. I'm so excited to jump into this interview because I know it's going to bless your life. And trust me when I tell you, it's a full meal for this pre-Thanksgiving feast. But first, I've got to tell you about a new super helpful tool that I have created for you to try. I've created my very own daily intentions planner. This downloadable tool will help you set daily intentions and crush your goals. You can download it and print as many as you need to. It fits perfectly into a binder, or it's perfect to sit at your desk at work. If you are like me, you have so much on your plate at times, and it's easy to get lost doing stuff, and before you know it, you realize that the things that you thought you would do in a day, you don't. This tool is designed to be used first thing in the morning or within 5 minutes of starting your workday to set your intentions, map out specific times that you're going to do each task, and keep track of important events, reminders, and notes. It is the perfect marriage between a journal and a calendar. So if you would like me to send you one, send me an email to progressonpurposepodcast@gmail.com with the subject planner, and I will be happy to send you one for free. I also have a link on my Instagram page, Progress on Purpose Podcast, in the bio for you to click on join a mailing list, and then I can send you one out for free as well. It's time for our People Poppin' Out segment. This is the segment of the show where we highlight, celebrate, and give kudos to people in the media, whether that be mainstream or otherwise, who are living intentionally to make progress towards their goals, make strides in the community, or live in the lives of others, or make this world better by doing what they need to do to serve themselves or their family. And in honor of National Entrepreneurial Day, which was on Tuesday, November 19th, I just like to take the time to honor and recognize all entrepreneurs, anyone who has or makes plans to take the leap of faith required to be your own boss and make your own money. For those of us who are like me and are used to seeing a paycheck on the 15th and the 30th, it is not easy to grasp how much faith it really takes to be an entrepreneur. And for those of you listening who entrepreneurship is all you know, and perhaps you were raised by entrepreneurs, kudos to you for having the faith to continue operating in your own dreams and passions. Progress on Purpose podcast is all about making intentional choices in word and in action to reach our goals. So we salute you for doing just that. If you know someone who deserves recognition on the show, DM me on Instagram at Progress on Purpose Podcast. Don't forget to follow first, or message me on Facebook, or send me an email at progressonpurposepodcast@gmail.com. Okay, enough with the announcements. It is time to jump right into this interview. I present to all of you my friend, the creative, the entrepreneur, Mr. Bryant Barnett. Bryant, welcome to the Progress on Purpose podcast. I am so excited that you could join us today. And more than anything, it brings me so much pleasure to have a platform to share all of the awesomeness that you bring to the table and to our world. You are a great friend of mine. I've known you for so many years, and I'm really excited that you could come on. You know yourself to be a creative, someone who is, oh my God, your voice is amazing. First of all, you can do it all from singing to speaking. You have an amazing voice. God has blessed you with that. And not only that, I know that you're moving into entrepreneurship. But more importantly, the reason why I wanted you to come on the show today is because you are someone who is no frills. Like, you are moving into entrepreneurship. But you, from my understanding, you have a 9-to-5 just like I do, and so many other people who are listening. And I wanted you to come on the show because you relate so much to many people who listen in, someone who has dreams, has goals. But the one thing I admire about you is that you are going after every single dream and every single goal that you have set for yourself. And I know we're going to get into that, but right. I appreciate that you are coming on to the show after today. So many people are going to know just how dope you are. And I'm sure that you're going to inspire so many people to live intentionally and pursue their passions. So welcome.
Whoa, wow. Thank you. I don't even know what else to say. I feel like clapping for myself. Like, wow. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. So I'll start by saying I actually do not have a 9-to-5 anymore.
All right. Wait a minute.
Right. I actually, my 9-to-5 is usually from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. And obviously what I'm doing at that moment is I'm playing the market. I'm stocks and options all day long.
Wait a minute. You said 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Oh, come on now.
Yes. So that's what I do now on occasion. That I don't punch in. I don't go to a brick and mortar building to work. My work is researching stocks that I want to play at night or during the day, playing it, making that money, and then moving on. So yeah, that's my 9-to-5.
So can we start here then? Then how did you make that transition? Like, take us through maybe the last year of your 9-to-5 into that. I mean, I'm sure you got to tell us a little bit before that, but if you could tell us that transition and what that was like, because that's gold.
Certainly.
Okay.
Certainly. So it was. So I was working in corporate customer service. And the thing is, you're told, go to college, get a degree, get a job. You go to college, you get a degree, you get debt, and then you get a job that's not going to cover the debt. I was not happy at my job. I was trying so many different times to get a promotion or go to a different department. I was not supported by my supervisor or by my manager. I just was not happy. I didn't voice that, but I just wasn't happy. And it was my heart's desire at that time to just be able to make enough money to trade on the stock market. Of course, I have been, studying the stock market and trying to figure it out and figure out how I could make money. Lo and behold, I got called into the office and they let me go. They said my numbers weren't as high as they needed to be, which was not true. But you know what? I was okay with that. And I think the reaction that I gave them was completely opposite of what they thought. Because, they had, I'm 6'7", 300 pounds. They had security outside. Some old dude, like 90 years old, you gonna secure me, bro? But they had security outside the office. As soon as I saw him, before I even walked in, I knew, okay, they're probably gonna let me go. And I was fine with that. After she said, you know what, we have to let you go, I gave her a hug. My manager, I said, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Gave her a hug. And that was it. And from that point, I went home. I was kind of stressed. I was definitely very sad. I hit some stages of depression. But I said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start trading, flipping stocks and options and making money that way. So that was one thing. I didn't just leave my job. Intentionally, they let me go. And again, of course, it was very stressful. It wasn't easy. But, I'm okay. I'm okay. Mentally, I'm okay. Financially. And I'm just doing now what I love, which is a bulk of things that I'm enjoying doing. I'm working in the stock market on my own time. The voice acting, writing. There's just so many different things that I do during the day now to try and continue to be successful in life, in all aspects, wealth, health, emotionally, mentally, all that stuff. So, yeah.
That is, first of all, I got to unpack that a little bit because
Okay.
there's so much intentionality in your situation and what happened. A lot of the times when people get so engulfed in their career or their job, or it becomes their source, we look to that for everything. And because of that, we become afraid of getting laid off. Or, I mean, let's be real. A lot of us be like, oh, well, if they lay me off, I'm going to be all right because God got me. And that is true. But sometimes walking in that can be very scary. But one of the things that I admire about you, and I noticed that what you were doing, is that you had some other skill set that you were learning along the way while you were working. And that caused you to have something to fall back on.
Right.
Now, was this something that you taught yourself, or did you have a mentor, you pay a coach? How did you learn how to trade stocks?
I started trading 4 years ago. I ran into a friend of mine, named Kareem, and he's from Philly, and he had been trading 4 years prior to us meeting. So we were able to connect through social media. He saw me in a chat room and I was asking questions, and he saw me asking questions and no one was answering. Like, people were more like, you need to be past this. We're past this. As a group, we were trying to learn together, but because I was working my 9 to 5, I couldn't be on, social media as often as many of them were. So Kareem kind of, quote unquote, pulled me to the side in the chat room and said, yo, let's talk. So we spoke. From that day, 3-4 years ago to this day, he and I talk every single day, and we've never even met in person. We FaceTimed, all that other stuff, but he helped me to understand the stock market. He's helped me to learn how to flip stocks and options and invest in things of that nature. Every day is a learning experience for me. So that was one thing I was doing while working my 9 to 5. Another thing that I was doing was researching voice acting. I can remember one day where a few executives came to my cubicle and they said to me, you have such a way with our clients, with our customers. Your voice really de-escalates a lot of situations. And I was like, really? They was like, yes, we were listening to your phone calls, and somebody could have been passed around to different representatives, but when they got to me, I would listen to them real quick just to see where they were and use my voice intentionally to diffuse the situation and then to help them. And that's when someone came to me and said, you need to look into voice acting or voiceovers. I didn't even know what that was, so I looked into it, and last year I actually started doing voice acting. I started this season last year, and honestly, I've made more in 1 month than I did working that job in corporate.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I think that's amazing because I believe that, actually, I said this a while ago. Mm-hmm. Tasha Cobbs, I was at a conference in South Jersey at Change Church, and she was the speaker. It was for the Arise conference, women's conference. And one of the things she said was, you have everything you need in your house to fulfill the vision. And what I'm hearing is that you have taken the very skill set that you were blessed with, that you were given, and you're making it work for you. And you, here it is, you're not just going into it blindly, but like you said, you took the time to research it, and then develop it, and you are building something. And the thing that I love about you is that you're building something in silence. Like, you're not one of those people that's out there, boasting about what you do. You do post when you when something comes up and it's exciting, right. You want us to listen into it, but you have such humility about the things that you do. And I think that's pretty awesome. So I remember last year, this time, you going into the voice overs.
Yes.
Is that something that you had to get an agent for, or like, how did that process come about?
So after, I took a year to figure out what voice acting was. I was looking into it. I didn't know anything about getting into it. I didn't even know, I didn't know what it was. So after the executives told me, look into it, I remembered that I have a friend from grade school, and she's been doing voice acting for 13 to 15 years. And I reached out to her. And the first thing she said to me was, what the heck? You're not using that voice? And I was just like, no. Because I didn't know where to go or how to, everybody's thinking you need to go sing somewhere. But
that's what you did for a long time.
Right. And I'm going to get back to that. I can promise you that.
Great.
I mean,
Great.
There's music and singing in me. I'm going to do all of that and soon. But when she found out that I wasn't even using my voice to get paid to speak, she did everything but curse me out. And she told me, she said, Bryant, this is what you need to do. Reach out to this person, go get a demo done, and then submit it. And she told me after a while, she said, honestly, I did not think that you were going to do it, because people ask me all the time, and I tell them, and then you hear nothing from them. But I got the demo done, and the demo was very good, according to professionals who heard it. I started to shop it around to agents, and a lot of 100% of the agents told me, hey, we have somebody that sounds just like you. You're not what we're looking for. No problem. And so I was just like, yeah, no problem. Okay. And I kept going. Of course, I was getting discouraged because, nobody likes to be shot down. Nobody likes to be told that I gave you my best and it's not good enough. So I was just, all these agents, I just did a regular search. I went back to Google and I did a search on the top agencies in the nation. And two stood out that I wanted to sit. I sent my demo to one of them, and the other one was the agency I'm with now. So I found out who was at that agency. I looked and I saw who was in the commercial department, and I sent her an email. And then I said, I'm going to wait 5 minutes after this email. And after 5 minutes, I'm going to call and let them know I sent my demo reel. I want you to listen to it, and maybe we can discuss me working with you. So after 5 minutes, I called in, and a gentleman answered the phone, and he said, hold on. He puts me through to Robin, my agent, and she said the first thing out of her mouth is, I never answer any phone calls. But when I heard that you were calling me, I just finished listening to your demo, and I knew I had to speak to you. And I said, okay, wow, this is exciting. And we talked on the phone for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. She asked me my story. I told her what was going on, and she says, I want you to come in, because at that moment she decided, I'm going to do what needs to be done to sign you to this agency. So I'm now signed to Buchwald. This happened in January of this year. I got signed.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a big thing. It's a huge agency I'm with. And out the door, I was told I got a huge campaign, which never happens to newbies. Bud Light, being a nationwide commercial or nationwide brand, was looking for a voice for their summer campaign. I went and I auditioned, and I actually was not going to go to that audition that day. But my buddy from California said, yo, just get up and go, and then just come back home. He said, at least just get out the house. So I did. I went to the audition. 2 weeks later, I got a call back from my agents, and they said they're booking you. I said, what does that mean? Where's that like, I just thought it was just another audition. He says, no, you got the gig. And he looked, he said to me, he said, do you know how big this is? I said, no. He said, this is big. He says, any actor that's been doing this for years would hate you, literally. And I said, really? It's that bad? He said, because you got a national campaign that's going to run for these couple of months, and you're going to easily make $50,000, $75,000 just by going into the studio. And I was like, yeah. And he said, just because you're using your voice. And I went, and I had a wonderful time recording it, and it's exciting. It's exciting to be in this place during this time of my life.
You know what I find so, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I gotta say, what I find so amazing is that the very thing that you were, like I said, blessed with, it's your talent, and your, more so your gift. Mm-hmm. It literally is making room for you. It's the very thing that you are making money from. A lot of us have that very desire, but haven't discovered how to tap into it yet. How to tap into using what we have. So I want to know, how did you develop, or what was it that made you so hungry? You did the email, you did the call. What made you so hungry to discover, or to tap into discovering that that gift that you were given?
So it was, I just got tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of coming home. What's going to be for dinner? There's nothing cooked. Listen, I'd love to have a maid cooking me and my family dinner. And when we come home, you know, there's food on the table and the house is clean. You know, just when you have money, you have freedom because you're able to just move differently. But the thing that was killing me was the fact that I was being paid, like my time at that company was only worth $20 an hour. Mm-hmm. My time is worth far more than that.
Absolutely.
And so I came to the understanding. I said, if I want more, I have to go find more. I have to make more. I'm not going to sit here. And one thing that I say is similar to what I guess Cobbs was saying at that thing at the convention. One thing I've been saying to myself is, everything I need, I have in me.
Yes.
Everything I need to succeed is in me. And so I took that and I said, if they're not going to pay me, and they won't, because their job is not to see me succeed, but to see the company succeed. So my thing was, I need to want to succeed on my own. So that's why I started to push myself. And there's a difference between motivation and discipline. A lot of days I'm motivated, a lot of days I'm not disciplined. But you have to, like, even when you're not motivated, you have to be disciplined, because if you're not disciplined, you're going to sit around all day long. Time is going to pass you by. Time is money. And if you're not using that time to produce money or something that's going to produce you money, then you're going to have problems when it's time to pay the mortgage and the rent and things of that nature. So the thing that kept me going or got me going is the fact that I know that there's something inside of me that people want to hear. It could be me singing. It could be a story. It could be me doing a commercial in 3 or 4 different voices, and people can't tell that it's me. But the fact that I have a gift, or that I have many gifts, and that I can monetize off of them, there's nothing wrong with that. You can be in the church, and you can have these gifts, and don't say, oh, I'm going to pray and ask God if I should. No. See, God's thing already is, I gave you the gift.
I gave it to you.
I don't have to give you permission to use something I gave you.
Can you wait. Say that one more time and say it slow.
God is looking at you and saying, I don't have to give you permission to use what I gave you. If somebody gives you a house and they tell you, okay, this is where you're going to live, are you going to stand outside and say, can I go in? No. My God, you have the key. Everything that you need is in you. Walk in it. Walk in that house. Oh my goodness. I don't know where that came from. Walk in that house. Walk in the gift that you have, and let it generate legacy for you, money, patience and peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? When people start to walk in what they are called in, they have peace. You know what I'm saying? There's a passion in doing what it is you like to do. You know what I'm saying? When you sew those scarves and those hats and you put these things together, you're like, oh my goodness, there's no deadline. I'm not stressed. I'm happy. And you enjoy doing it, and then you get paid for it. And so people want to live all these wonderful lives. You stop buying that Louis Vuitton, stop buying that Gucci, stop buying all that Prada perfume, all that stuff. Take that money and invest in your life. Because I'm telling you, when the future hits and it's then the present, and you still working at that job, and you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars making somebody else's name rich. Gucci,
come
you know
on.
what I'm saying? Ronald McDonald, you made them rich, and your health has failed. You're gonna look back and say, you might say, what can I do differently if you even alive? Right now, my whole thing is I've spent the last 200 years living my life, paying other people and wasting money. The next 200 years, I'm going to do it totally opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly the purpose of this show.
I felt that thing. I'm sorry.
Listen, I felt it too. I was over here making this ugly. I said, yell at me. Okay. But this is exactly what this is all about.
Yeah.
Making progress on purpose, like being intentional about the decisions that you make, being intentional about what you go after and why you going after it, being intentional about being disciplined enough to do the research, do your homework, make investments. I'm in prayer right now about the next investment that I'm going to make concerning this podcast in terms of a coach, because I know a coach is going to take me to the next level and take the show to the next level. It's only but so much I can do. It's only but so much I know, right?
Right.
And so I've been praying, God, show me, give me who I'm supposed to pick. I have different options because I do my homework, but I need to know who's going to be my coach.
Right.
And one of the things that you just said is that there's a difference between being motivated and having discipline. Yeah. And ironically enough, today I was just thinking about how without systems, like putting systems in place, which is another form of discipline, we'll just be letting time go by. Or you'll start something and then you don't know what happened to the rest of your time, and now you just chasing time. Right? As opposed to, even though you're motivated, without the discipline, you're not going to get anything done. And so, and then you took all my money when you said you don't need God's permission to do the very things that he's already given you permission to do. He put it inside of you.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. And it's the truth. A lot of people do that. And I'm going to say, like, you get a lot of religious people or faith-based people that sit back and say, I'm waiting for a sign from God. All the signs are there. The sign of the sun rising is another day for you to go out and reach your goal. You don't have dreams and goals in your mind and in your heart just for them to sit there. Because I'm telling you, the graveyard is the most wealthiest place in the world, because so many people who have died with their dreams and visions, not leaving their mind, not leaving their heart. So there's a whole lot of money in the graveyard. Don't be one of those people, you being buried with all of these ideas and these dreams, and you don't do anything with it. Do not sit around and ask God for permission to do anything, because God is going to look at you and be like, hello, why are you asking me? And I want you to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of respect, use the gift that God gave you. If you need direction on which way to go, that's something different. But, somebody gives you a house, they give you the key, this is your house. You're not going to stand there and be like, okay, well, I'm going to go get an apartment because I'm not worthy for this. No. Live. Do that thing.
I love that. So what now that you have, first of all, you shocked me with the whole I don't work anymore. And I love that. That is goals right there. What is it that you are intentional about in this season of your life? And even going into 2020, what are some goals that you are going to be pursuing and, being disciplined about?
Okay, so one, I'm trying to really be very more disciplined in how I spend my time and who I spend my time on. I have cut out a lot of people in my life, um, but also some people just have fallen by the wayside, and I've learned that if they don't reach out to me and I don't reach out to them, it's okay. Like life takes you places and things change and so on and so forth. And I'm okay with that. I'm also making sure that I'm disciplining myself with my money, my budgeting, my finances. Um, I don't want to go out and eat. I don't want to keep buying Popeye's chicken. I want to keep my life. Um, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to use my money frivolously, but I want my money to work for me. One of the goals I have now is to be able to flip and make $500 to $1,000 a day, just to start. Um, Also to be able to finish a project in less time. Like I'm still writing my book. I want to be able to finish that before the end of the year. So these things that I'm doing, at the end, they have financial gain attached to them. If I finish them, then I'll be able to go ahead and move forward financially, but also on to other things. So right now in this season, I'm definitely trying to pursue uh, a better relationship with my discipline, and just make sure that I keep focus on what really matters, which is my time, which is important. I don't want to waste that with anyone who does not have um, an understanding that my time is important. I believe other people's time is important. And if you come to me or if I come to you, we should exchange something that's going to benefit us. It doesn't have to be financial, but if you're sharing information with me and likewise me with you, you know what I'm saying? It's great to get together and hang out with people. That's great. And I'm not saying that you should not. But in this day and age, with the climate that we're living in, with the injustices and everybody wants to be included, you have to make sure that your time is valuable. And if you don't value your time, no one else will. That company's never going to value your time. So when you get off of work, you may be tired. Your kids may want to, and spouse want to hang out with you. Do that. But then if you have to go to bed late, put time into your dream so that you can get closer and closer to the day when you say, hey, I just came to give you my keys. Here's the password. I'm done. And you can leave the company and go and be successful in the gifts and the call with the gifts and in the calling that is upon your life. It's honestly, getting to that point may be difficult, but it's freeing. It's freeing once you don't have, I mean, more responsibility because now you got to make sure that you have money coming in. But other than that, yeah, you gotta discipline yourself, time, your budget, your finances, all that stuff. And that's what I'm focused on in this season, to make sure that I don't overspend, that I don't spend frivolously my time or my money, that I don't waste my mental state or my emotions on people who don't deserve it. I'm not going to allow somebody to put me in a dark place, stressing over them, over love, over a relationship, because that's even toxic and it gets into the way of my creativity. There's so many things that I could say, and this is just some of them. And I hope that somebody is able to grasp some gold from what I'm saying. You just have to discipline yourself with time, your money, your emotions, your relationships, all of that stuff.
Now, did you realize this as you were living, or was it something that you were taught to do? Or was there a season of your life where you had to realize these things as a result of something else happening?
As a result of something else happening, I realized this stuff this year and last year. I realized things have changed in my life drastically between last year and this year, like last year and today. Things have changed. And I realized, a lot of people don't mean you well. But a lot of people who don't mean you well, they don't do it intentionally. But at the same time, you have to understand, you know, which direction in life you're going. And it's definitely great to have friends, but sometimes you have to see, hey, even though we have a cordial relationship, or we're friends, or we grew up in the same church, or grew up in the same school, we're going in different directions.
Yeah.
And if we don't go in the same direction, one of us is not going to make it to our goal. And so you might not even say goodbye to that person. Just communication is going to decrease drastically, and it's okay. Like sometimes I'll scroll through my phone, cleaning out my phone, deleting names and numbers, and old text messages, and it's not anything like, oh, that's scandalous. No, it's, we no longer talk. I haven't spoken to you in 5 years. Let me remove this. And some people, you hit them up, you send a hey, just thought about you, hope you're well. They may respond, they may not, but you keep it moving. And if after a while, if you continue to get no response, it's okay. Just move forward, delete, and keep going. This does not kindle joy. Is that what the Chinese lady says? This doesn't kindle joy in my life, so I'm gonna remove this. So
I love that. I really do. And thank you so much for being transparent about that, because I feel like so many times, like, I know for me, we go through life very just, nonchalant. And coming from your 20s into your 30s, you're still very naive, or coming into the knowledge of certain things. And you're right. There's a part of us that wants to be free from the opinions of other people. And so we have to go through this process of ridding ourselves from people, environments that no longer do us good. And it's okay. Everybody can't come with you. I love you, but you can't come with me here. As a matter of fact, I love you, but you're hindering me.
Yep. That's the thing. And like, I had a talk with my mom a couple of weeks ago. And I love my mom. Her and my dad did what they thought was right. But I also look at them now and I understand what you taught me before is not conducive to what needs to be done now. Like, people need to know how to invest. They need to, having kids and sending them to school to learn how to write in cursive, that's a waste of time. Kids now should be taught finances in school, financial literacy, how to run a business, entrepreneurship. I don't want to know anything about social studies. I don't want to know anything about history unless it's African history, because I'm an African American. Let me know where I come from. And African history does not start with slavery. There's just so many things that the kids are learning in school now that they just do not need to learn.
And they know that they don't need to know it. And that's why they question it. That's why they rebel.
Right. And the sad thing is, the government hears what the kids are saying, but the government overrides what the kids are. So what I'm saying is, to the parents and to the mentors, teach these kids what they need. I wish that someone, when I was younger, when me and you were younger, when we were 6, 7, 8, 10, I wish that somebody was sitting us down, looking at us with the newspaper, reading the stock market.
Absolutely.
I have three young guys that come to my crib every weekend. 2 of them are 20, one of them is 23. And, one works for Amazon, the other 2 work for, heating and electric company. And they want to do so many things. They've expressed, this is what I want to do with my life and this and that, but I can't because after work I got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? And so I said to my boy, my cousin, Jay, I said, listen, if you bring you and your 2 friends up any weekend, every weekend, I will teach you the ins and outs of the stock market. They've been coming faithfully for the past 6 weeks.
Wow. Because they hungry.
Yep. And not only that, and they're saving their money now. Mm-hmm. They're putting their money not in a banking account, but in their account so they can trade. They're buying stocks. They one of them called me 4:00 in the morning. Yo, I was just looking at this chart. Yo, da 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 da. And I was just like I woke up, but I was excited because he's eager.
Yeah.
And so, so that's where my time is going now. Like, I definitely am not going to waste time with people, but I'm also going to give time to the people who are coming up behind us so that they can do what we didn't have the opportunity to do.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you because you were the person to introduce me to trading stocks. Like, I didn't know how to do it. I had the desire. I wanted to learn, didn't know where to start. And you were like, I'll teach you. Open this account, do this, put some money in account, continue to put money in account. I'll show you how to pick stocks. And then you would even like say, hey, look at this stock right here. Do some research on it. And I did it. And everything that you taught me to do, I did it. And because of that, I learned how to make decisions about, okay, let me go into this stock for a season of time. Time to pull out of this one because I read the news and they about to go down. They done lost, some merger or one of their CEOs left and something about to happen. And so you had sparked that in me. And I know you're doing it in so many other people. And before we get off this interview, I would love for you to share what programs or any opportunities that people will have to work with you or how people can connect so that you can teach them. Because I already told you through text, I said, listen, I need to learn some more stuff. You said, okay, this is what the fee is. And I said, okay, sign me up. Because I believe in paying people for their coaching and their mentorship. I would never come to you and say, BB, I know we're friends, or Bryant, excuse me. I know we're friends.
It's okay.
Can you show me this? You did that. Now, if I want to learn something else, I got to pay you. I got to pay you for your time. Because I wouldn't want you to come to me and say, hey, Michelle, can you make this shirt for me? I can. But, I know you wouldn't come to me and say...
no, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
Because, matter of fact...
Come on, let's talk about that.
Yeah, listen, because I remember, like, the things that you put together was timely, but it was, like, timeless. And everything that I saw that you were selling, I said, yo, my sister would rock that. My sister would rock that. And to this day, she'll send me a picture with her rocking those shades out there in California or in Nevada now because they moved. Or my nieces, they got the little scarf thing on their head.
I remember.
And, it's African Day today. This is Reese. And I'm just like, yo, this is why I support Michelle. Because she's making something that is helping my nieces understand, yo, I'm African American and I'm proud of this. But anybody who wants to learn stock, they can reach out to me on Instagram. I am on B Sharp. It's at BSHARP. You can reach out to me there or on Twitter at Bryant Barnett. I'm also considering giving voice lessons in regards to doing voice acting.
Me?
There's information that you need to go into that. Or if you just have general questions. I don't charge if you ask me questions, but if we're going to spend time, then we need to talk.
Absolutely.
What else is there? Yes, there's a lot of things that people need to do, and I'm willing to help. I'll give you this one. A lot of us, we go to McDonald's, we go to Popeyes, we go on vacation. Buy stock in some of these companies where you spend your money, and let that stock sit. Because the stock will pay dividends, and over time, you'll get paid by this company to have a share or to be holding or have ownership in that company.
Absolutely.
So they're paying you, and then when you pay your bills, it's like, that's all right because they paying me to your cell phone, Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, Apple. Yes. You buying $1,000 phone, you almost can't pay your mortgage. Buy some stocks for you, or even for your kids, and let it sit. It's going to grow over time because of the stock price is going to go up, but it'll also grow and expand because when they pay dividends, you just let that stuff reinvest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, people can reach out to me. Hopefully, I won't be too slow to respond. I don't have that many followers. Not that I'm trying to drum many up, but hey, you do what you do. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through social media.
Okay, so everyone, I need you to listen because Bryant is being very humble, and he's just like, just reach out to me. Listen, he's very knowledgeable, and a lot of people who have seen, especially if you're my friend and you all follow me on Facebook, sometimes I'll post different things about stocks that I'm, either following or whatever. And people have reached out to me and said, hey, how do you do this? Can you teach me how to trade stocks? And I'm like, yeah, I can show you what I know. But let me let everybody know who was listening, and even those of you who are across the seas, Bryant is very knowledgeable and very humble and a great teacher. He is someone who's going to take his time, show you exactly what to do, give you not just the knowledge, but make sure that you have the understanding about what you're doing, what you're reading, what you're seeing, so that you can begin to make informed decisions on your own. And then if you need help, he's going to help you. He's not so busy that he can't help you. He doesn't, manage Fortune 500 companies, and he's making it work for him. And if you can learn what you can learn from him and then grow from there on your own, or find a coach after that to go even further, that's on you. But I believe that there is so much wealth and a wealth of information in you, Bryant. So I'm putting that out there. I'm going to be praying that your business continues to expand, and that everything that you desire to do, it comes to pass. Bryant, you have a pop quiz. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
I slid that on in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 3 words or less, describe growth.
3 words or less, describe growth. I would describe growth as definitely change. Change, acclimation, and change, acclimation, and looking forward, if I could say that. That's growth.
You can say it out loud. I mean, it's like 3.5 words, but it's okay.
Change because, obviously there's change in who you are and your thought process and things of that nature. Acclimation because you're becoming acclimated to the new version of yourself for that season. And then forward looking is, that sounds so terrible, but I couldn't think of anything else. Like, is you looking forward. You see the mistakes that you've made in the past, but you're not dwelling on them. You're looking forward to what's going on, or to what's about to happen and what's going on right now.
I just love that you talk about the acclimation piece, because it can be scary to change. Yeah. It can be scary to adapt to something new, to sit down in front of some books or listen to some audiobooks and learn something that you had never learned before. It can be scary to acclimate yourself to a new mindset.
Yeah.
But listen, Lisa Nichols said, do it with your teeth chattering and your knees knocking. You got to do it afraid. And it's the only way that we can grow. It's the only way that we can begin to do something that we've never done before. The second question is, what does progress look like for you?
Progress, to me, looks like progress looks like me getting closer to a goal. Like, I can set a goal for the year, and then I can map out the steps that I need to take. If I can mark off any one of those steps at any given time, that's progress, because I know I'm getting closer.
Mm-hmm. And is that something that you do? Do you set a goal every single year and then check back in on it?
Well, not so much every year, but I've gotten into the place now where I set goals. And it's weird the way I set them. Like instead of saying, I want to be an award-winning singer, songwriter, actor, whatever, what I say, like, my goals are now my affirmations. And so what happens is my affirmation, but my goal is, I am constantly a working actor. My goal is to be a working actor, but I'm saying I am that already. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am making $1,000 a day. I'm going to do what I need to do as far as reading the charts for the stock market in order to become someone who is making $1,000 a day in the stock market. I am an award-winning writer. And in order to do that, I have to make sure that I write. And the more you write, the better you become at it. So I am this. I am this. I am this. So I'm doing two things. I'm setting a goal, but I'm also speaking to myself and saying, this is who I am, and I can't be any less than that. I can't be anything else. Sometimes I actually look in the mirror and I look dead into my eyes and I say, I am this. I am this. And people may say, oh, that's great. I want to go and say, I want to say that's casting a spell over myself. Because when you speak over yourself and you say these things, you're speaking well of yourself. And people are like, oh, he said cast a spell. It's witchcraft. No, it's not.
Speaking well over yourself. Encouraging yourself.
Right. You're using words. It's to spell. And it's amazing because the things that I do now, the things that I say now, it works. Like when I get an audition, I say, and I've been saying, I am the voice that they are looking for. And these companies, they'll call me back.
I know that's right. So guys, listen, I got to pause 1 second with our pop quiz to give you the pop tip of the week because I believe this is it right here. For everyone who has ever wrote you off in life, who has ever put you down, who has ever made you feel like, or you've ever been in a place rather where you have felt less than that which you know you are. For this week, every single morning, look in the mirror and say 5 I am statements.
Yeah.
So that means that the night before, you're going to have to write out what those I am statements are.
Yeah.
And then that next morning, recite them.
Mm-hmm.
That is your pop tip of the week. That's your homework of the week.
I love that. I love that. I love that. You know, I try to tell people to do it. And I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I did it. And they don't do it. But I'm telling you, you all are gonna feel a major difference after you continue to do it. Because the thing is, you're gonna start hearing it. You're gonna hear it more often, and you may not believe it in the first few times. It may take a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But as you continue to say it, you're gonna start believing it. Like, I am the voice that they're looking for. And then they call me and they say, hey, you know what? You're the voice that we're looking for.
I know that's right.
It's people say, oh, it's putting it in the atmosphere. Speaking faith without works is dead. So I'm going to speak faith and da-da-da, you know, and so whatever makes you feel good about doing it, do it. Just do it. And it's going to change your life.
I know that's right. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's on me, so I got to say it. Some of us just need to make enough time to talk to ourselves without the noise. So one of the things that I told myself I have to do in this season of, fourth quarter, getting ready for 2020, I got to take some time in the morning before the noise, before the family gets up, to just talk to me and to get with me. And so, listen, if you're willing to join me in that, whoever you are who are listening, I'm going to be up every single morning, at least an hour before I have to get, myself together for work. And I'm going to be spending time talking to me, talking to myself in the mirror, talking to God, writing out my prayers, writing out my visions. And I know that time is going to produce so much. And so I ask that you join me in that. No, we don't have to do it together on no, society, community, but just do it with me. Just do it with me and watch and see what happens as a result of investing that time in the morning or at night, whatever it is. Just take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes is 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, take the time, not in the car, because you have to be alert. This is something you got to do in the most still opportunity of time that you have. All right, but join me in that.
Wow.
BB, you have one more question.
All right.
What is one thing people can do to live an intentional, purposeful life starting today?
Get over other people's opinions about yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to think something of you. It's not your business what they think about you. It's your business of what you think about yourself. And then once you start to believe the good that you are everything good, nothing bad. There are just some things that you need to fix. Once you start to believe those things, you're going to begin to see the difference in who you are. So it doesn't matter what other people think, because they also think lowly of themselves.
Come on.
Think well of yourself. You are good people. Like everybody. Like there's good in everyone. When you focus on that and you speak all of that, that's what comes out. That's what comes out. There are seeds in you that need to be sown and that need to grow. You focus on planting those seeds, not the seeds that people are throwing at you. You need to be this and you need to be that. No, because if I try to be what you want me to be, I'm never going to be what I was meant to be. So, yeah, other people's opinion of you, whether it's good or bad, if it's not the opinion that you have of yourself and that God has of you, just disregard it.
I love that. BB, thank you.
Yes.
So much.
My pleasure. This is amazing. I feel good. I feel like I'm practicing, being on the Ellen DeGeneres show or something like that. Like, yo, this is beautiful. I definitely appreciate you asking me to come on. I pray and I speak success over your show. I pray that success overwhelms you and that it knocks you forward into something unexpected. Like, we didn't expect to be asked to be on a nationally syndicated radio show. We didn't expect to be visiting a television show because of this podcast. I expect that to take place, and not years down the line, but soon. Because what you're doing, it needs to be heard.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really... Let's wrap this show up because I got some things I want to say to you when we get offline. But I do want to thank everyone who tuned in today. Please subscribe to Progress on Purpose podcast if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Google Podcasts. Please subscribe and share. Share the show. Share the message. This interview was a full meal and so much encouragement, motivation, so much knowledge, so much wisdom, even hope came out of this conversation, and it is too good to keep to ourselves. So let's make sure that we push it out to everyone that we would want to hear it. BB, once again, thank you. Bryant, once again, thank you. And
No
I look forward to, listen, that inbox about to be full. Because when you said you want to make $1,000 a day, you're not the only one, sir.
Yes.
And so many people want that skill as well. And those who really want it are going to reach out to you for that knowledge. They're going to be willing to invest in themselves. And your business is going to continue to grow. But guys, thank you so much. Until next week, continue to live on purpose, live intentionally, and keep making progress on purpose. Take care, guys.